Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Now, I've gone over this phone with the Mr. Muscle, so if the thing isn't polished enough, then I'm sorry, this is a job even too tough for this guy. But I digress, this isn't what you called. No, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on regarding the son and Keir the traitor Starmer, because those who've been paying attention to what's been going on regarding Keir the traitor Starmer, this story I know has been covered long ago by, what's his face, that Preston journalist. So what I'll probably be doing is I'll probably be linking in the description below his take on this whole thing. That way you've got it from somebody else's perspective as well. But the Sun was responsible for the phone hacking scandal, lost £66 million in costs, and it's probably going to cost them a hell of a lot more if anything else comes out about them. But here's what I find strange. Apparently there's even more scandalous stuff regarding Keir the traitor Starmer being around Lord Ali. But what is strange is how all of a sudden any more scandals surrounding Keir the traitor Starmer, everyone's gone radio silent. Now, why is that? Why would they stay silent about Keir the traitor Starmer? Well, it turns out that there was a deal made by the Sun and Keir the traitor Starmer. Apparently, in exchange of dropping the investigation into the Sun's phone hacking scandal, Keir the traitor Starmer would have the Sun not investigate any more of his numerous crimes, basically, to describe it mildly. I mean, really? Can we really be surprised? And here's the thing, if those two were doing a deal with one another, two very shady groups, it begs the question, what else are they trying to hide of Keir the traitor Starmer? It really does beg the question, doesn't it, folks? But yes, I have been away for a while because, as you've seen from the last very poor quality video because it was done at fucking night, I've been trying to enjoy my week off. I haven't been doing a lot of news content and videos and what have you, just because this is my week to relax. This is my week to basically be like, I clearly need more sleep. Anyway, this is my chance to have my week off and be able to come back and throw myself back in the deep end later down the line. So don't worry, Keir the traitor Starmer hasn't arrested me. That fucker wishes he could arrest me, but of course I'm protected under Section 10 of the Human Rights Act, which is the right to freedom of speech. Of course, if Keir the traitor Starmer had his way, he'd probably rip up that right for us. He'd probably rip it up and throw it in the garbage can. Oh, sorry, the rubbish bin. I'm going all American on you. But he would basically do everything he can to make sure you and I did not have the right to speak our views or our opinions, or unleash Koto Shugamatsu, or whatever it was I was calling it, oral annihilation, the Japanese art form. I still can't stop laughing over that shit. Oh dear. But it's been good for me to get my well-being and my mental sanity back in check, even if I was playing XCOM during half of it. So that's why I haven't been around. But more than anything, it just strikes me as very suspicious why the Sun and, of course, Keir the traitor Starmer are in cahoots with one another, even more so than other mainstream media outlets, quite frankly. But perhaps what scares me more than anything is looking back at all those protests that took place, all the people who have been brought into court for crimes that basically you wouldn't expect anything more than like 3 to 6 months in jail. I know, like sticking up stickers saying White Lives Matter, or banging on a door, because that's a new one, by the way, the banging on the door. That's something that I wasn't aware of, but apparently somebody ended up getting fucking 18 months, 20 months, something like that, in prison for aggressively banging on a door. You know, that kind of banging. Am I now going to get arrested for 20 fucking months? Man alive. And then, of course, we have all the people that I've mentioned in the past. Person who grounded a dog. Person who basically squirted a water pistol at the police. Somebody ended up going to jail for shouting at police. They've gotten custodial sentences. Meanwhile, because we're too scared to deal with Islam equally, because we're worried about being called racist, we have to basically say, no, you're fine, you're free to go. Or you'll get a suspended sentence, or you get community service or something like that. Like, you couldn't make this up. I mean, I could have a doctorate in fairy tales, and I would not be able to spin a yarn as good as Keir the Traitor Starmer and his bunch of fucking cronies, bluntly speaking. I really couldn't. But it just baffles me more than anything how the mainstream media, who are supposed to report the news based off of facts, impartially and without bias, are actually engaging in a deal with one another to basically make sure that one or the other does not have shit thrown out into the media, ironically. Why is that? Surely, Keir the Traitor Starmer should understand that when you're the Prime Minister, you don't get to have that right to a family and private life. And certainly not when people like Tommy Robinson are not being given that basic God-given right. And he's merely a citizen of the United Kingdom. Or he was, until he kept on leaving the country, whether for good reasons or bad. I'm not here to fucking debate, quite frankly. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't even blame him for fleeing the country, since his own government wants to put his head on a spike, metaphorically speaking. So I can't really blame him for getting on a plane or getting on a boat and going straight off to another country, quite frankly. But he is not given that right to a family private life under Article 8 of the Human Rights Act. In fact, when he tried to have a holiday in Tenerife, the Daily Fail sent James Fielding after him to get another hit piece on him. But of course the mainstream media won't tell you this. You know the drill, folks. I'm back, folks. Because say it with me, it doesn't suit the narrative. The traitorous media would want you to believe that Tommy Robinson does not have any rights whatsoever as a British citizen. The truth is, he does, he should, and they've been violating it to hell. But if they can violate his rights, Keir the Traitor Starmer, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So let's see you put your money where your fucking mouth is, Keir the Traitor Starmer. If you think that you have a right to a private life after the abuse of power that the government has done, especially the Attorney General, who still wants to go after Tommy Robinson over this bullshit claim of his silenced documentary shouldn't have been released, which he never released in the first place. That was the Americans that did that. Leaves nothing a chance, does it? You, Keir the Traitor Starmer, don't get to play cosy in your little house. Because after all, if we actually had political representation in this country, you would be sweating in your boots right now. You'd be sweating your tiny little bollocks off because you'd be like, oh shit, there's 70 MPs in here who can all challenge my views. And you know you wouldn't have a leg to stand on. If people like Nigel Farage can be investigated, if he can be debanked by big banks, why the fuck should you sit comfy in that £18 million mansion where your child is allowed to stay there to study for their GCSEs? Do you think I got that right? Do you think I got that right in this quaint little town of Norwich? Do you think there was a fucking £18 million mansion sitting out there somewhere, and do you think I got to sit peacefully? Like fuck did I. To be fair, in most cases I didn't really do much studying. That's on me. But that's not the point of this video. The point is, we cannot trust anything the media says about Keir the traitor Starmer anymore. We cannot trust anything that Keir the traitor Starmer himself says about anyone in the media, or even himself. The man is a complete, compulsive liar. He is a complete sack of shit. He is a man who is only interested in power, and he is only serving his WEF masters. That's what it boils down to. That's why I've said before, and I will say again, we've got 2 to 5 months to make this work. I think if we don't get this country back in order in 5 months, I think this country is descending into anarchy. That's the cold bit of truth on it. I know it's not something Richard Inman would want. I know it's something that Paul Thorpe or Tommy Robinson, it's not what they want. But as I've said before, there are some people you just can't talk to. That's the pure and simple of it. And I wonder, if they've made a deal with the Sun, what other skeletons are hiding in the closet of Keir the traitor Starmer? What else has Keir the traitor Starmer got hidden underneath the bed? Because I'll tell you right now, it's not the boogeyman. And as much as I'd love it to be me, I'm probably too big to fit under the bed, first and foremost. And two, he probably wouldn't give me even a ½ inch into his house, quite frankly. But hell, I'd love to be the guy that's like, he checks under his bed every day to check for me, because he knows I'll rip his bloody head off, orally speaking and metaphorically speaking. But who knows? Maybe I'll get the chance. Maybe I'll get the chance to rip his head off if I'm on the world stage. I mean, metaphorically, of course, using Koto Shigometsu, the legendary art of oral annihilation. I can never fucking say the whole thing without laughing. Damn it. Mastered by legendary Japanese masters of this art. Oh dear. But hey ho, we can all have a laugh together, because otherwise, if we don't laugh, we cry. And Keir the traitor Starmer is definitely wanting to make a lot of us cry right now. But while I've got myself refreshing and all that, I'm going to be on Twitch. I'm going to be playing some Aliens Dark Descent. I'll also link that in the description below if anybody wants to check that out. And yeah, I don't think there's really much else to say. But Keir the traitor Starmer, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and it all ends for you. You won't be in power any longer than maybe Christmas. You might make it to Christmas if you're lucky. But quite frankly, all this shit coming out about you, you'll be lucky to see the end of October, let alone December. But who am I to judge? We'll see how morally bankrupt your fucking character is, Keir the traitor Starmer. We will find out soon enough. And remember, folks, I will never sugarcoat a motherfucking thing. I'm not going to mince my words. I will say it exactly how it is. And I will do my best not to bullshit you. Whereas Keir the traitor Starmer, it seems, is getting paid to bullshit you. Or to not investigate crooked things. It's a sad state of affairs when the country is more interested in locking up political opponents in the name of fascism, because this sectarianist bastard would rather protect Islam than the British people. He would rather make sure the enemies can flood in through the gate by holding up the portcullis, rather than doing what a true leader would do, and that is shore up the defences. He has not shored up anything except his bank balance. Why don't we hit him right where it hurts? Because I know quite a few people who have got the balls, whether up here or down there, or in my case both, to be able to hold this traitor to account and make sure that he pays for his moral bankruptcy and his crimes against the people.